Hey, welcome to my channel. It's Arik. In this video, I want to explain why there must be a Combat Pack 2 and 3, and I'll give you my predictions of who might be in those combat packs. So following the new edition of Aftermath that just recently came out, there has been a lot of speculation that this is not the final major piece of content that we will get for the year. To start off, I just want to show you guys why it is guaranteed that a combat pack is coming in the future. Okay, so if you look at the character roster shown, you can see that the structure of the roster is asymmetrical. The top half of the roster has more characters than the bottom half. There should be characters directly under both Robocop and Shiva, and characters directly besides Cetrion and Fujin. I'm going to also assume that the corners would be filled in with 4 more characters. This brings us to the roster looking like this. All the black rectangles represent the missing characters. Now I am assuming that NRS will make the structure a rectangle and not leave the corners empty. With this in mind, I now want to give you my predictions of who will be the characters in Combat Pack 2 and 3. I'm assuming that there will be 4 returning MK characters and then 4 guest characters, with 2 MK and 2 guest characters in each combat pack. I'm certain about there being 2 combat packs because if we were to have the same amount of characters as we did in Combat Pack 1, which is 6, we would cut out 2 roster spots, making it look something like this. Now, I don't know NRS personally, but I think that they are regular, rational people who like symmetry, so the missing corners would not be empty solely because it would look bad. So with that explanation out of the way, let's get on to the predictions. The first character that I think that will be added to the game in either Combat Pack 2 or 3 is Takeda. Takeda was a student of Scorpion and is in a relationship with Jackie, which can be heard during some of the intro dialogues in MK11. I think that Takeda would fit well into one of the combat packs because he is a fan favorite due to his debut in MKX and would fit well in the storyline, so I'm pretty confident that he will be part of MK11. Now, the second character that I predict is Shinnok. I know this will surprise some people, but I think that there's going to be more added onto the Aftermath story for MK11. Since the story is so much based around changing time, going back in time, altering the timeline, I think that there will be some sort of travel back in time that causes Shinnok to be resurrected and becomes the main boss character instead of Kronika. I know he is not that popular, but I just feel like there's going to be a change of the antagonist in the next storyline. However, I can just see them putting in Kronika just because she is the main boss in MK11, and I wouldn't be surprised if she were to just make a late appearance. However, I will just put Shinnok in the roster just because I am a fan of him and would love to see him in MK11. Now, the third character has been in Joker's story ending and dialogues and is a very popular character for his gruesome personality and possible gameplay. You probably already know who it is, and it's Havik. I think that Havik is a great choice for DLC because he would fit so well with his gameplay. He has been hinted in the game, so I just feel like he will finally be playable after all these hints. The last MK character that I think will be joining MK11 is someone who is dead in the crypt. That character is Ermac. Ermac was really fun in MKX, and I would love to see the new graphics or changes in gameplay that they do with him. I know he is dead in the crypt, but I think NRS can find a way to bring him back. However, regarding the other crypt characters, I think Kenshi cannot come back because he was DLC, and they did say that they won't be repeating any DLC. Now Goro, even though he is mentioned in many dialogues with Shiva, I think that having both in the game will be too much similarity in gameplay, and I think NRS wants to leave Shiva alone to shine since Goro is pretty popular. Okay, so to start off my guest character predictions, I'm going to go with a very well-known candidate, Ash Williams. He has been leaked multiple times for several months, yet has still not been added to the game. Many speculations say that he was replaced by the Joker in Combat Pack 1, but that doesn't mean he can't come back in Combat Pack 2 or 3. He would fit well in this game, so he is my first guest character choice. Now for this next character, I have some doubt, but I think Michael Myers will also join MK11. While he may look similar to Jason Voorhees, I think they can make him different enough for him to still be fun and exciting in the game. I think that since NRS is probably sticking with the 80s, Akiko will probably make the cut. Now for the last two spots, I have several options that I think NRS could possibly be considering. Some of these characters are from the 80s, but then also some recent characters. The options I have from the 80s are John Rambo, Conan the Barbarian, and a bit of a shocker, but probably my favorite choice, Indiana Jones. I can see any of these guys making the roster since they all have such unique character styles that could fit in this game. But Indiana Jones would be so cool. However, my only fear is actually getting the rights to him, which is probably going to be the hardest part. Also, Aaron Black does have a skin that looks like Indiana Jones, so there's a slim chance of him coming to MK11. The next possibilities I have are more recent, but with the addition of Joker, I feel like they have a chance. The two characters are Doomslayer and Deathstroke. Doomslayer is an ultra-violent character that just had a new popular game released called Doom Eternal. And Deathstroke, on the other hand, would be another DC character along with the Joker. Also, if you guys played Injustice 2, there were two MK characters, Scorpion and Raiden. So I think they could possibly follow the same pattern, just putting in two DC characters in MK11. Alright, so I'm just gonna put in Indiana, Ash Williams, Doomslayer, and Michael Myers just in the roster just to fill in all the leftover spaces. So with that, all the character predictions are done, and I know there are a lot of characters such as Mileena, Sector, Cyrax, Smoke, Rain, Onaga, Reptile, Striker, etc. that are all pretty popular. While I'm not saying that they don't have a chance, I just think it is very unlikely for any of these characters to come back. One rule that I am standing by that I already said in the video is that no past DLC can be picked again. So that makes Rain, the Triborgs, and Kenshi unable to come back. For Mileena, a very blatant clue that she won't be joining MK11 is because she is in Katana's friendship. No other playable character is in a friendship, so I just can't see her being playable. Regarding specifically either Cyrax or Sector by themselves, I think that the similarities that they gave RoboCop to these two robots just makes the robots more unlikely to come back because he seems like their replacement, and RoboCop even has skins that resemble them. Now, Smoke and Reptile are probably not making it because Reptile is in one of Shang Tsung's competitive variations, and he is in the new Retro Cage stage added with Aftermath, so I also don't see him coming back. Regular Smoke is part of the game in some ways already, but I don't see him coming back with Noob Saibot also in the game. However, maybe he might come back as Human Smoke, which I would love. So Onaga, while he is mentioned in dialogues, he is probably not coming because he just doesn't really fit with this timeline anymore. Lastly, Striker, seems like he will be too similar to the Cage family and RoboCop, making him unlikely to return. Just to recap, I have predicted Combat Pack 2 and 3 to be added in the future, which will include 4 MK characters and 4 guest characters. The MK characters being Takeda, Shinnok, Havoc, and Ermac. And the guest characters I predict is Ash Williams, Michael Myers, and I hope Indiana Jones and Doomslayer. But the other options I did have included John Rambo, Conan the Barbarian, and Deathstroke. Hopefully you liked my predictions. Please comment who you would like to see return in DLC, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you stayed for the entire video, you guys the real ones.
Big addition.